What's wrong? Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, I was waiting on you. Remember, you told me to wait. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, the Truthful, and the Most Just, I greet all of you who are hungry and thirsty for Allah's righteousness. I greet you all with the greeting words of peace. May Allah, Assalamu Alaikum. We are thankful to Allah for allowing us to meet with you once again in our regular forum for congregational prayer service. But we are also on two other forums that we are not usually on, which is Facebook and Twitch. And so I know there are people that are hearing us for the first time, and I want to say to those who are first time hearers, I know you're going to hear me.
I don't have audio going to those just yet. I'm just working on that. So they're not live just yet.
Oh, okay. Okay, well then, as I said, I'm thankful to Allah for allowing us to once again meet with you for congregational prayer service. And I'm not going to hold you no great long time here. I just want you to remember when you have prayer in Islam, those prayers get answered. It's not a effort in futility. Allah answers our prayers. Matter of fact, Allah is so close to us, as the messenger and as the Holy Quran says, that Allah is closer to the messenger and to his believers than their life's vein. And your life's vein, your jugular vein, is right there inside of your neck. And Allah is closer to us than that because Allah is the truth. And all of the truth that we know and that we don't know, that we are not aware of, protects us and answers our prayers. That's why sometimes, what's wrong? Do you want me to turn one of these mics off? That is because I can turn one of these mics off since these other two are working. I can turn one of these mics off because the other two are working. Can you hear me now? Testing. 1, 2. Okay, now one of the mics is only. This is the only one you're getting my sound from.
That sound that you gave it to me is going through the other sites.
Okay.
Usually that side.
Okay. I want to say to those who are in the Twitch and Facebook, we will. Well, you just said it was going out to the other sites.
Yes, the sound is, sir. I got the sound is, but I didn't start broadcasting because I had to check the sound first. Once I got the sound, I'm going to turn it down and adjust it a little bit, and then we're going to start the broadcasting on it.
Well, I don't like to spring no surprises on people. I like to let them know that I'm aware that they're hearing me. So, okay.
Yes, we hot and live out.
That's the one thing that I can say. Many of you have heard me talking, and even after the meeting is over with, you found out that I'm not a two-faced type of fella, even on an open mic. I ain't saying something that I got to be ashamed of. Do you understand? You know, if you steal a hearing from me, that's what an open mic is when your man get through talking and think the mic is off. If you steal a hearing from me, it's not gonna hurt me. It may hurt you, because it may be some things that I didn't want to hurt your feelings on, that I just didn't say nothing. But I don't say things about people or places or events that are not true. So the truth that I share with you, I choose to share it at the time where it will do the most good and the least harm. And but it's not that I stand up and tell other than the truth. I don't tell other than the truth. That is not what Allah chooses a representative to do, to stand up and tell you other than the truth. No. These men must be 100% truthful, for they represent the truth. And so, this is what Allah is holding me accountable for, to tell you the truth. And He, as is written, when He, the Spirit of truth, is come, He will guide you into all truth. Now that's what I'm here for, to guide you into the understanding of the word of Allah. So we just like in English, the Allah is two words there, all, and when you notice the only thing that you can stand in awe of is something that the truth brought into existence. We stand in awe of the truth. And all truth is awesome. Do you understand? You know, because when you don't know, look at the first time people flew. The truth revealed how people could fly. People were standing in awe to see that thing. Remember the spruce goose that Howard Hughes made? When that thing got up in the air, everybody was standing in awe that something that big could fly. But Howard Hughes knew the truth. He knew that it don't make no difference how big something is. If you can get it going fast enough where the air pushing against it is stronger than the gravity force holding it down, well, then that thing will get up in the air. You understand? And so that is a truth that cannot be refuted. So all praise is due to Allah. So we want to welcome you once again to congregational prayer. And I want to go to the 15th chapter of the Holy Quran. And this is the it's entitled The Rock. What's another name for rock?
Stone.
Stone. Okay. The rock, the stone. Now what is that they do in Mecca?
They make 7 circuits around.
The black stone, huh?
Yes, sir.
And so this is, is it any wonder that Allah talks about fashioning a man from sounding clay of black mud, fashioned into shape? Huh? Because the title of it is the rock, the stone. Letting you know that that man that Allah made is actually the rock that Jesus was talking about when he said, upon this rock, upon this truth, since that truth was going to be made flesh one day, upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Look where the Son of Man is speaking. In the heart of Christendom. Huh? And the very sign, the cross, is a sign that represents death. As in Adam, all died. Huh? And so you know, death and hell. As it says, I beheld a pale man, a pale horse. And his name that sat upon him was called Death. And everybody that followed him was in hell. And hell followed with him. Huh? I remember in Tombstone, that's one of the famous lines in the movie Tombstone. He said, you run, you turd, and you tell them that the law is coming. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me. You remember? You remember he said that? In so many words. I might not have quoted him perfectly. But you notice, they know who they are. And when Allah gave his stamp of approval for the devil to go out and have dominion, he went forth, and he went forth with a manifest destiny, a written destiny. Huh? So if you don't like what I'm doing, you better check with the one who sent me. Huh? God sent him. And he went and he did his work, and he did not shrink from his work. He went forth conquering and to conquer. And so the scripture says, wheresoever the eagles, it says, wheresoever the carcass is, there shall the eagles be gathered together. They even make a little, even though they don't spell it carcass, they call it caucus, the black caucus in Congress. Huh? And you find black people, some of the wisest black people on this planet, they're right here serving white people. Huh? What's left of the African or the black people that was stolen and brought here and forced into slavery. We are what's left of them. Do you understand? And so when they was asking where these things would take place, that's why the messenger, when he was asked, where's the promised land? The messenger said, the place where you're in. The promised land is the land where the prophecies or promises of God will be fulfilled. Well, in Genesis, the 15th chapter of Genesis, I don't know if I need to open up this subject right now because it is a pretty long subject to do it justice. Well, I'll just touch on it right now. Maybe we'll go into it tomorrow in more depth. But you notice in the 15th chapter of Genesis, Genesis is the beginning of the scripture. It says in the 15th chapter where God tells you that Abraham's name wasn't even Abraham at that time. Do you understand? And it tells you how Abraham received his name and why. But in the 15th chapter, before Abram had any children, Allah told him, he said, this is the 12th verse. It says, and when the sun was going down, a deep sleep fell upon Abram, and lo, an horror of great darkness fell upon him. And he said unto Abram, know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Find another people, any place on this planet that served another people for 400 years besides the so-called American Negro. I defy you to show me a history of anybody being enslaved for 400 years other than us. We still serving white people, the majority of us. Is there a problem?
Excuse me, Senator.
Yes.
We are now live on Twitch and Facebook. The audio is coming through fine. It's just a little loud. I'm working on that. That's something that I can control from this end. I just got to find where the setting is. But we are live on both those channels.
All right. I want to say to Twitch, to those on Twitch and those on Facebook, I want to welcome you to our forum. We are in what we call our congregational prayer service, and I know that there are probably many people that will be in disagreement with things that we teach. I want you to know that I respect your right to disagree. I will also hear your disagreements and your arguments, because I want to convert you. I want to change your mind. And you cannot change people's minds if you're not willing to talk with them. All I'm asking is when you do speak, keep a civil tongue in your head, and and bring facts. As you bring facts or things that you believe are facts, if I cannot answer those facts, then your facts will carry the day. And it will mean that I have to correct myself. If that which you thought was a fact turns out to not be a fact, then you will have to change your belief, change your mind. I don't care if you are an atheist. I don't care if whatever you claim to believe in. I will welcome you in here, because I wouldn't have came into this forum if I was not ready to have discussions with you. It is disrespectful for any person to claim to be a teacher, and then which means that they expect everybody that's in their room to be a student. I have never seen a teacher throughout my 12 years of schooling that when the student had a question, no teacher ever told me when I raised my hand in the middle of what they were saying, they didn't get angry with me for stopping them. My hand went up, they immediately stopped, and they said, yes, what is it? Because they expected the question that I was asking to have something to do with the subject matter that they was teaching. And that subject matter is what created the question. And if you get angry with a student for asking a question that you created in their mind, it is not the student that's wrong, it's the teacher that's wrong. Because if you couldn't deal with what you created, you didn't have no business creating it. Do you understand? And so Allah has mastery over his creation. And so whatever Allah gives me to share with you, if it creates a question, He should have gave me the answer to it. And if I don't have the answer to it, then Allah wasn't the one that gave it to me. Do you understand? Okay, so I want you to know that I'm not like these other people who get up in front of you and expect you to just sit there and listen to them just so they can at the end ask you for some money to help them stay on the air and all that old foolishness. I'm here to guide you into the understanding of all of the truth that's in the Holy Scriptures. That's all truth. There ain't no, that's the only books on this planet that can claim to be all truth. The rest, your proof of that it wasn't all the truth, that they keep changing the books. Is not, the truth does not change. How long has H2O been the formula for water? Ever since it was first brought into our view and into our understanding. H2O will get you water. Huh? That don't change. So we know that there are some truths that are true for a time, but they are not universal truths. It is just like man cannot fly. Well, man cannot fly without aid. Man, at one time, man could not fly at a particular time. But that was never really true, that man could not fly. The true statement should have been man cannot fly at this time. You understand? And that would be a truth that recognizes that man one day will be able to, but not at this time. Huh? All right. So there's much that we must learn in order to call ourselves masters of this universe. As scientists, they started us down the right path by teaching us that basically all of their knowledge, they refer to it as theoretical. You know, theory. Einstein's theory of relativity. The theory of this, the theory of that. What that is saying is, you notice when you sitting up in class, the truth that they share with you or the facts that they share with you, they call it theory. And that is another word for thoughts. That is another word for the present school of thought on this subject matter. The theory on this subject matter is what we are sharing with you right now. But it may change, you know. There was a time when transistors, radios were called transistor radios because they had transistors in them and they had the little signals. You could build one in electronics. They showed us how to build a simple radio in junior high school. And but now they have technology that is microchips and these type of things that didn't exist when I was in junior high school. And so the knowledge changes. The discovery of truth changes. We don't create the truth. The truth just is. The truth is like matter. You don't create matter. Your matter just is. If you say, what is the beginning of matter? That's an unintelligent question. Because you cannot create matter, nor can you destroy matter. Only thing you can do with matter is change its form. You notice a tree. A tree is basically what all wood frame houses are composed of. They are trees. But the tree, when they take it to the lumber mill, they change the wood of the tree, they change the form of it into 2x4s, 2x4s by 8, the studs. Then you have the 2x4 16s, 2x4 20s, or whatnot, 20 feet long and 2 by 4. But it's the same tree, but its form has been changed, where it can be used in a way that it could not have been used in its original form. Do you understand? Iron is changed into a form that it can be used, but it's still iron. You know, they didn't create the iron, they changed its form. And so, likewise, all of these things that exist are everlasting material. The material of your body is everlasting material when you can no longer hold that form any longer. You will do what we call die. That material will change its form. That's what death is. It's matter changing form. And so that when I can no longer hold this form, then this form will pass away. But the material that this form is made of, it will go on because it's living material. All matter is living material. We are from everlasting material, but we have not learned how to put it in forms that will be everlasting. Do you understand? And so that's the secret that has not been revealed to us yet. But we know that we've came a long way with knowing how to preserve the material, because when you embalm a person, it kind of preserves that form for much longer than that form would have been preserved if you hadn't put that embalming fluid in it. Now, if we can learn to put in ourselves knowledge that will teach us how to eat to live forever, then we will no longer die. There's no need for people to actually die, except that people are wicked and you don't want to keep wickedness around. That's what God put death here for. So that if we didn't measure up to what this form was designed for, then the answer to that is death. Just like people try to say Jesus was perfect. Jesus was not perfect. No prophet was. That's why they passed away. As Jesus said when they called him good master, he said, "Wherefore are you calling me good? There is none good but one, that is God." So, but you are not their judge. But they all told you that a judge was coming. And so it's much that you could glean if you really understand the word of Allah, which I'm here to do, is to give you understanding of Allah's word. And anything you want to argue with me about, I will be more than happy to entertain your discussion with me on that subject matter. I wouldn't have brought it up if I wasn't willing to talk about it with you. But now tomorrow, we will be in class for at least 4 hours. And, actually 4 hours is just about a full day in your regular school system. But we will be in class for about 4 or 5 hours tomorrow. And you can ask me, and you can argue with me for as long as you want. It's not a talk show. So if one person has some questions they want to ask, you don't have to ask them fast, and you don't have to feel like somebody's going to run you off. I'm not going to run you off if you got questions and wanting to learn what I'm teaching, because you are important. Every soul is important. And so a lot of the things that you discuss with one person, they wasn't the only one that had that thought. So while you are answering one person's question, you are answering everybody's question at the same time that had that question. You are answering everyone that had that question by talking to that one person. So, I like to do that. I like to introduce myself. I'm the Son of Man. And if you come in here, that's how you address me. Son of Man, I have a question or whatever. Don't come in here getting on no, think you done heard somebody give you my first name and all of that kind of thing. That's disrespectful. You don't get on a first name basis with people that you speaking to when they really don't even know your name. And the fact of the matter is, I learned this from my dad, that when people are your elders, you always put a handle on it. Now, in this forum, you know this is a scriptural discussion with the Son of Man. And I'm the Son of Man. So if you don't have to believe that. There's lots of people don't believe that the President of the United States is the President of the United States. But if you're going to address him, you should address him as Mr. President. Do you understand? You may not like him. If I didn't like Donald Trump as president, but if I had went to speak to him on a personal level, out of respect for the country and that office that was created for whoever is in that office, I would have referred to him as Mr. President. And that's just the way that is. You know, I don't have to like it, but in order to recognize myself and him, and if I want him to recognize me as an intelligent person, I would have had to address him as Mr. President. And that would have knocked down all of the misconceptions of my intelligence to him, you see. So you have people that try to tell me that I'm not the Son of Man. Well, okay, if you have evidence that proves I'm not the Son of Man, I will let you present that. So you don't have to come in here with disrespect or nothing. All you have to do is come in here and talk to me. Because I'm not on an ego trip, you know, trying to be something I'm not. Because if I'm the Son of Man, I'm responsible for your salvation. That's a big responsibility, which means I have to be careful with you. I have to be careful how I deal with you. As you will discover that I'm not hard to get along with as long as you don't come in here being disrespectful. I mean, if you have something that you have found that disproves me in what I'm teaching, I offered you $50,000 and my life. So you don't have to come in here hostile. Just come in here with the truth, share that information that proves that I'm not what I claim to be, and the whole audience all around the world heard me offer $50,000 to whoever could prove that I'm not the Son of Man. As far as I'm concerned, that's a cheap price to pay to find out I'm not responsible for nobody but me. If I wasn't responsible for nobody but me, I'd go and get on with the business of making me some money and taking care of my family and not worrying about everybody else. I mean, I have plenty of talents that I can use to get along in this world without having to beg anybody for anything. I don't have to beg for people to take care of me. So if you have some proof that I'm not the Son of Man, I welcome you to bring it. Because I don't want this job if it's not mine to do. Allah does not impose upon any man a duty beyond his ability or beyond his understanding. Now, I feel that I understand what my duty is. I understand that I am the Son of Man. That is my understanding that I got from reading the Holy Scriptures. So I don't want you to think that I have to run from that. And so if you have proof that that's not me, and you share it with me, I will welcome that. So now in the Bible, at the first of it, it tells you that Abraham's seed, even before his name was Abraham, he was told that his seed was going to be a stranger in a land that's not theirs, and serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. Which ties into what's in Isaiah, where it says, in all of their affliction, he was afflicted. How could you think that was talking about Jesus? Jesus was never afflicted with slavery. You know, every affliction that my people have had, in all of their affliction, I've been afflicted. So, this is the thing that some of it I was afflicted with when I was very young, and so it you know, but I went through it. I experienced it, and so this is these are things that I can teach on. These are things that I can understand. People who fell into that, I can help them to get out of it, because notice it says he was afflicted. Do you understand? So, you know, when you go through something that others are going through and you make it out of it, you can teach them how to make it out of it. So, this is what I want you to do. Let me give you, you all who are in the conference room, in Twitch and in Facebook, I want to give you the numbers to the conference room so that you can also be on the phone. And if you have something you want to question me on, this is real time. It's not no pre-recorded nothing. Then you can dial these numbers. Now, this first number I'm going to give you is a 601 area code, but it has 2 access codes because it's 2 conference rooms that we have paid for, that each one will hold at least 1,000 people. And so, and one by one, I will take your questions and your arguments, and I will not rush you off. And if we don't get into your question or argument at one session, when we come back, we can take it right up, because I always at the beginning of my classes give anyone that have any disagreements or questions about what I teach, I give you the opportunity to present that. So don't feel like we are neglecting you, because we want you to get used to this type of teaching, so that all of these imposters out here won't be able to do to you what they've been doing to you in the past. And that is standing up talking at you instead of talking to you. And so the numbers to the conference room is, the first conference room is actually 2 conference rooms. They have different access codes, but the same phone number. And that is 601-909-9135. That's area code 601-909-9135. Okay. One more time. 601-909-9135. Now the access code to them is, the first access code is 968-280. Again, the access code is 968-280. Now that's That'll put you in one of the conference rooms. Okay, the access code to the alternate is 258055. Again, that second access code is 258055. And you can punch either one of those access codes in that I gave you, and you will be in the conference room. Even though they both have the same number, they are different conference rooms. That's why you have a different access code. Now, we also have a free conference room. Though that conference room we pay for. And I think we're going to add some more to that as the need arises. We have a third conference room that is one of those free conference rooms, and it is area code 717 908 1834. Again, that's area code 717 908 1834. And the access code for that one is 869571. And then you hit the pound key, the hashtag. You don't have to hit no hashtag for them other two, but you hit the pound or hashtag for the 717 conference room. Now, to unmute your phone in the 601 conference room, you press 5*. If you press 5*, the technician will see your hand go up and he will unmute your phone. In the 717 conference room, you press *6. And that will unmute you. And then you can ask your question or present your argument. And if you come in here with showing respect, that's what you will receive. Just because you disagree with me, that does not mean you are disrespectful. Yeah. Now, if you have a disagreement, I want to hear your disagreement. Because if your disagreement is based in fact, it is based in truth. And if I'm a believer in the truth, then I need to correct myself if you show me that your disagreement is factual and that I'm going against the truth. I'm not here to go against the truth. I'm here to represent truth. And so you've done me a favor if you show me something that I'm teaching that is not the truth. And you've done the audience a favor that's been listening to me. If you have a disagreement with me, I should not, since I'm teaching in the public, I should listen to your disagreement in public. Just in case, sometimes people, they are on an ego trip and they disagree with you, or they say something that's not true, and when you go to correct them, they tell you they want to talk to you in private. Well, why you want to talk in private? You got out here and said that in the public. The reason they want to talk in private is because even when you correct them, they don't care. They knew most of the time. That tells you that they knew what they were saying wasn't true. If I'm not telling you the truth, brother and sister, I don't know I'm not telling you the truth. Because if I'm not telling you the truth and know that I'm not telling you the truth, I am lying. Anyone who knows that they are telling you other than the truth, and they tell you that, they are lying to you. They're not mistaken. They are lying. And another way of saying lying, they are in manifest error. Do you understand? In error knowingly. So my greatest proof to you that if I'm not speaking truth, I don't know I'm not speaking the truth. And the way you know that I don't know it is I'm opening myself up to anybody who disagree with me. In the same place that I stood up here and said what I said. So I'm not going to. Yes, what is it?
Yes, sir. We do have someone here typing that's refusing to call in on YouTube.
What's the name of the person?
Kevin.
Is it someone that I've already spoken to?
No, sir. His name is Kevin Fox.
Okay, Mr. Fox. What is it? I'll grant him that one. But from now on, you come in here, since you in this country, you don't have to type at me, because you ain't got no secretary here now. Now you come on in here and talk to me like a man. Now what is it?
He says Jesus still forgives you, for you don't understand.
I don't need Jesus to forgive me. Jesus ain't told you that he have no authority to forgive nobody. Jesus said the Son of Man is the one who have authority to forgive sins. So you don't know what you're talking about. You run around here. Why do I need to be forgiven? Tell me something that I need to be forgiven for. This is your opportunity. I'm going to let you type it in there. What do I need to be forgiven for? Because if you say, because I'm saying I'm the Son of Man, well, over here in the book, Jesus was accused of the same thing that you accusing me of. As is written in the 10th chapter of John, Jesus said in the 32nd verse, he said, "Many good works have I showed you from my Father. For which of those works do you stone me?" The Jews answered him, saying, "For a good work we stone thee not, but for blasphemy, and because that thou being a man makest thyself God." And Jesus answered them, "Is it not written in your law, in the 82nd chapter of Psalms and the 6th verse, I have said ye are gods? If then he called them gods, unto whom the word of God came, and the scripture cannot be broken, then say ye of him whom the Father hath sanctified and sent into the world, thou blasphemest, because I said I'm the Son of God? If I do not the works of my Father, believe me not. But if I do, though you believe not me, believe the works, that you may know and believe that the Father is in me and I in him." Show me something that I'm doing that is out of accord with the scriptures. Tell me what I need to be forgiven for.
He says Jesus said by his stripes we are healed.
Jesus ain't never suffered slavery, so he can't heal us by stripes that never happened to him. So now you tell me, what do I need to be forgiven for? You just said Jesus will forgive me. Forgive me for what? You say I need forgiveness from Jesus. What have I taught or done that offends Jesus? You see, you are a coward And by being a coward, you can't represent a man like Jesus. Did Jesus ever run from people who disagreed with him? Did he ever refuse to talk to people who disagreed with him?
No, sir.
You remember them trifling disciples of Jesus? They were all cowards. When it came time to face Pilate and all of those people who was disagreeing with Jesus, his disciples ran away. As he said, have not I chosen you 12? And every one of you is a devil. Not just one, all of them were devils. Do you understand? The devil ever deserts man. They all deserted Jesus. Didn't they? So don't come here trying to, when you dealing with someone who's a coward, then it does no good. It's just like now, he just lost his argument, and yet he's still probably typing. He don't have sense enough to know that he's lost his argument. And that's why he's afraid to come in here, because he don't believe what he's typing himself. So erase it. Okay. So now, did anyone have something they wanted to speak with me about? Then I'm open for that. But you can dispense with all of these notes. You know, we used to be talking to people and they, used to be making a little funny. But it wasn't really funny, because sometimes the breath did stink. And the man would say, look, man, write a note. you know. But your attitude concerning Jesus and the truth stinks. Your attitude stinks. Because you don't really believe in Jesus. You try to use Jesus to shield your dirty thoughts, your unclean and unrighteous position. That's why you really don't believe in righteousness at all. That's why you came in here trying to pass judgment on me and then couldn't tell me what I need forgiveness for. Did you get it? I mean, you tell me that Jesus will forgive me. And then when I ask you, forgive me for what? I have not offended Jesus. I have defended Jesus from the lies y'all telling on him. So don't we're not gonna prolong this. I think I've said enough on that. But I want you to remember now, tomorrow I'm going to go into this land of promise here. For the Bible began to be fulfilled when we went into slavery. Do you understand? That's right there in Genesis. And it even tells you about the day of judgment. It says, and also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. You see, Allah brought America, the United States, into being, into existence. If you look at the history of how America came into existence, you will bear witness that if it had not been God helping them, there ain't no way they would have won that war, Revolutionary War against England. England had a professional army. The colonists did not. But somehow, George Washington was guided in the Continental Army to victory and to independence, leading the colonies into independence, even though some of the colonists they was afraid, didn't want to fight. But the country came into being, and then they formed a government different from any government that had ever existed. It was a somewhat a smaller version of the government of England, but it was even different from that one, because it didn't recognize no king. You understand? They had had enough of kings. Huh? And he said, no, this will be a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Huh? A government elected from the people, you know, and they would elected by the people, and they would work for the people and not the other way around. Do you understand? And so they brought that into existence. And then after bringing that government into existence, and some of the founding fathers with vision, you know, like Abraham Lincoln, he saw the hypocrisy of sitting up claiming as it says, 87 years ago, our forefathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, conceived in the idea of freedom. And yet here we is holding people in slavery. Our own history is condemning us. Our own history is telling us that that's a proposition that will not stand. Even the Declaration of Independence told you that enslavement of people will not stand, because it is an innate, it's something that's instilled in the very genes of all human beings. The will to be free. And if you try to stop them from being free, their very being cannot accept that. No matter how they even pretend to accept it, they cannot. They will eventually say, that's the last straw. I can't take this no more. Do you understand? That's why the Declaration of Independence, it bears reading. You ought to pay attention to how it's worded. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, certain rights that they don't even have to be taught that they have, certain rights that you cannot take out of them or from them. And that is the right to life, the right to freedom, and the right to pursue happiness. And that's what everyone's will is that they be allowed to live, to be free from other people trying to be their keeper. Huh? And the right to pursue happiness. But at the same time, they knew that in order to experience freedom, you have to establish rules that while you are free, you must respect the fact that your neighbors are also free. You have to respect the fact that other human beings also have the same rights as you and are endowed by their Creator with those same wills, the same will that you have. And when you try to deprive them of that, you make yourself a hypocrite. Because if someone did to you what you are trying to do to them, you would go to war. then the mere fact that you went to war to stop a person from being a tyrant over you, and now you are adopting his way of tyranny over others, your war and your condemnation of them condemns you, because you've already condemned tyranny. You said taxation without representation is tyranny. Do you tax black people in this country? Yes, you do. Not only black people, you tax everybody in the country. We go to the store, we buy things, and they have one price on the shelf, and when you get up to the place, even if you done added it, the price changes. You say, what is this? You say, taxes. So you take taxes from us, but yet you don't want us to have any say-so of who is sitting in government rulership over us? What if your body and your head were disconnected like that? What if when you step on a nail and the foot sends a message and it stops short at the neck and don't get up to the brain, and yet the head is telling you to keep going while the foot is in pain down there? This is what you have did to us. You mistreat us. You are the head. You are the government. And whenever we cry out for pain that we are suffering, our cries fall on no ears at all. You're going to pay for this stuff. I'm just telling you. Do you think Allah would have allowed me to be able to articulate these things at this particular point in time if this was not the day of judgment? And shut your mouth. Do you hear any white people say, I'm lying on them? They angry. If you ask him, why are you angry at the Son of Man for what he just said? They're angry because they're guilty. Do you understand? Even the Negro angry. He angry because he's jealous. You notice every time Negroes got into the Muhammad's temple, the first thing he did once he got in the temple is decide he's going to go out and start teaching people. Didn't know nothing himself, but he out there trying to teach somebody. You know how the Black Panthers came about? Listen to the term, Black Panthers. You know Huey Newton and all of them had went through Muhammad's temple. They took the part they liked and put the part down that they didn't like. Do you understand? So it is sad that can't nobody help you, because you really don't want to be righteous. You want to be just like the devil who enslaved you. You just want to change positions. You want to be the slave master now. You know, I'd be ashamed to have plenty and got plenty from people who have nothing. I just can't, I couldn't live in a mansion while the people that put me in there living in less than that. I just can't do it. It's something in me, it don't seem right. I remember when, you know, now The Honorable Elijah Muhammad was making us wealthy. He was putting us in business and everything. I mean, he was, man, did you see 74 Saviors Day, all of the things he was doing for us? Farmland and farms, and putting them in a position where they ain't had to do nothing but work and run their farm and whatnot. They had nice, beautiful homes and all of this kind of stuff on that farm and whatnot. The messenger was looking out for us. And I knew all we had to do was just keep going, and it was going to work its way around to all of us. And he showed us what Allah intended to do for us. And he was right, because that's exactly what I'm here for, is to make sure that you live well, that you live good, and live good not at other people's expense, but from your hard labor and pooling your resources. Do you understand? And all you got to do is be patient and eat to live, and you'll be all right. You understand? Not only will you be the pioneers, but you will be the settlers also. So all praise is due to Allah. So you always have people that have nothing to offer you. It's just like that man that was in here a little bit earlier, trying to tell me that Jesus will forgive me. Now, when I asked him, forgive me for what? He had nothing to say. Now, at the same time, what is he looking at? He's looking at me in my own forum here in a building that me and my followers built, wearing clothes that came from our own clothing facility. And he tells me I need forgiveness. How come you ain't over there telling them people at the NAACP that Jesus will forgive them? They're getting paid to do what? I mean, you mad at me now. You get paid. When Bill Cosby got in trouble and we called on the NAACP to defend him, they told us he got money, he can defend himself. And Bill Cosby had gave the NAACP carte blanche to use his name, and he was a charter member of helping sustain them. And when he needed their support, they deserted him. Because he wasn't popular. It wasn't a popular thing. Them grown women, all of them stood up there claiming that Bill Cosby had raped them at first, and they changed that. Because I questioned a couple of them myself and showed that they were lying. Huh? Even their lawyer told me that, that was, the way I presented it was, because she used to be one of our teachers at Jordan High School. She was taught there for a little while. And Gloria Allred. And she didn't bring no more. When I asked her to bring some of her other clients in there, she said, well, I'll check with them and see if they want to come in. Well, I knew what that meant, because the lawyer don't check with the client to set up interviews. The lawyer tells the client, I want you to go here, I want you to go there. She wasn't going to bring no more of them to me. Because their lies just didn't hold up. But I'm not a person that turn on you just because other people turn on you. I have to see for myself. So you got people that's always negative when it comes to someone who will really help black people you always get attacked. They'll support somebody who ain't doing nothing. You see? I mean, they've been online. Let them go online and pull up the progress section of the New Nation of Islam. And they don't see nothing on there that they can claim is evil. But yet they come in here and try to suggest that the man who leading you to that is evil. Huh? So, but anyway, I want all of you to know that I'm a person that I don't tie your hands and then beat up on you. If you want to come in here and argue with me, I'll let you argue, but be ready to answer my questions too. If you want to question me, don't refuse to let me question you. That's how you find out who's telling the truth. Okay, so let's stand in our prayer. Oh, face the west. Hut, tent, hut. Original salute. Ready, front. Prayer position. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And I bear witness that I know of none who deserves to be served or worshipped beside thee. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due and be to thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful Master of the Day of Requital. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for help. O Allah, please continuously guide us and keep us on the right path and way, the straight path and way of thee and those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, not the crooked paths and ways of Satan and those upon whom thy wrath is or will be brought down, nor the foolish paths and ways of those who go astray or who are led astray even after they have heard and been given the true understanding of thy holy word and teachings. Truly, I have again turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be totally upright, to thee who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayers, my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate hast thou in this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. I know of no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults and weaknesses. So please grant me and my true followers and family continuous protection against all of our faults and weaknesses. For none grants protection against faults and weaknesses but thee. And guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts. For none can guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts but thee. And turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts. For none can turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts but thee. And O Allah, we seek thy continuous refuge and protection from anxiety and grief. And we seek thy continuous refuge and protection from lack of strength and laziness. And we seek thy continuous refuge and protection from cowardice, niggardliness, hypocrisy, envy, jealousy, lust, depression, adultery, fornication, and from all forms of temptation, and from all uncleanness and unrighteousness. And we seek thy continuous refuge and protection from hypocrites, disbelievers, backsliders, and devils, and from their evil and treacherous plans and actions against us, and from being infected with and being adversely affected by their evil and treacherous attributes. And we seek thy continuous refuge and protection from being poverty-stricken and from being overpowered and overcome by debts and the oppression and persecution of men or jinn. And, O Allah, please, suffice thou us with those things which thou hast made lawful for us, and keep us away from those things which thou hast prohibited unto us. And with thy grace and thy Holy Spirit, free us from desiring or doing things which are displeasing unto thee, and bless us and mold us into that upright and purified nation of righteous Muslims, which Abraham and Ishmael prayed for to be raised from their offspring. And our Father Allah, in heaven praised is and be thy holy and righteous name, and thy kingdom come. Let thy kingdom come and thy will be done on the earth, as it is written in the heavens. Give us this, the Sabbath day, the understanding and hearts that will always believe in, be inclined to, and be obedient to thy holy and righteous word. And forgive us our trespasses, and please help us to forgive those of our true brothers and sisters who may trespass against us. And leave us not alone during the times of temptation and trial, but stand by us and deliver us from all evils. For thine is the kingdoms of the heavens and the earth, and the power and the glory over them are thine forever and ever and ever. Ameen, Ameen, and Ameen. Attention, hut. Original salute. Ready front. You may be seated. Now, before I let you all go, I want you to remember that tomorrow we will be in class for at least, if it pleases Allah, 4 hours. And if necessary, we'll be in there longer until you are satisfied that you have gotten your questions answered, or I should say asked and answered, and you're satisfied that you didn't find any fault, or you found what you was looking for. I'm always looking for new people to talk to. I always want to talk to new people. For when new forums open up, I ask the technicians to get us in those forums. We want to talk to the people. And the scripture says that when the Son of Man shall come in his temple, he don't come alone. All the holy angels will be with him, because they were told to be with me. Allah said, I'm going to create a mortal of sounding clay of black mud, fashioned into the shape of a slave. So when I have made him complete and breathed into him of my spirit, fall down making obeisance to him. So the angels made obeisance, all of them together. So when the Son of Man come, as the book says, all the holy angels come with me. And if all of the angels are messengers of God, or I should say messengers of God, come with me, then you should not be able to find anything in none of their teachings that condemn me. Because they was all told to come with me and help me. Jesus is my helper. As he said, for this cause came I into the world. To this end was I born, and for this cause came I into the world, that I should bear witness unto the Spirit of truth. And I'm the Spirit of truth. And Jesus bears witness to me. And when people try to condemn me, I just show them that's what you did to Jesus when he was here. You see, you're a bunch of hypocrites. The ones that applies to, they know who I'm talking to. Do you understand? And so I want you to come in and show me. If I'm teaching wrong, you come show me what I'm teaching that's wrong. You know, just because you don't agree, that don't mean what I'm teaching is wrong. You used to didn't agree that we was black people. I remember they used to say, I didn't be calling me black. Huh? Yeah, now everybody don't mind being called black. Even white folks don't mind being called black now. So you got that from us, the Muslims. And so we when you look up the definition of Muslim, it may get you angry, but you look it up, and the second definition after saying an adherent of Islam, it tells you a member of the Nation of Islam, black Muslim. That's where we the ones that introduced Islam to the West here. We did that. The Nation of Islam. And when white people heard that term, Nation of Islam, they knew the jig was up. That's what Abraham prayed for. He said, our Lord, him and Ishmael, raise from our offspring a nation submissive to thee. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad brought the concept of nationhood to us. The concept is the idea. Before a baby can be born, it must first be conceived. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad conceived it. And now the baby is being born head first. I'm the head of it. And I'm pulling the rest of my body out. That's all. Do you understand? I told you, you got to have some sense to follow me. And those who are mine, they was mine even before I knew them and before they knew me. That's just the way that is. Your body been with you all the time, even when you wasn't aware of yourself or your body. Do you understand? So, those that's for me, I'm going to get. They mine, and can't nobody take them. So all praises due to Allah. And so all praises due to Allah. So let's put a pin in it right there. Now tomorrow y'all get all your books, get your Quran, get your Bible, get your Message to the Black Man, your Fall of America, Our Savior Has Arrived, get the Divine Sayings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, get your Theology of Time, get all of them, the books and all of the knowledge together that tells you about the coming of the Son of Man. And then you come in here and show me how any of the knowledge that you had about my coming, I am not fulfilling. Just show it to me. Okay? Now, is that reasonable? Okay. Now, so, until then, till tomorrow, may Allah continue to bless us and keep us safe and in our right minds. And grant to us peace from himself. May Allah's Salam Alaikum.